What is known about forests is that they are quiet spaces for enjoyment and recreation, but the reality is that there are disturbing stories about unknown entities that inhabit them, sowing fear and terror to anyone who tries to enter them. In a wooded area of France by the lake, just as night falls, the feeling of being watched over gains strength every day when the sun disappears. The Earth seems to relive past events, especially the disturbing ones. Witnesses assure that they have seen German soldiers corresponding to the Second World War stalking during the night. The reality is that this wooded area of France had been the site of numerous battles between American and German soldiers. The Germans at the time sought to flee the forest but were ambushed by a reserve patrol and buried around the lake. For many, the forest have memories and relive their moments. A member of the Philippine Marine Corps had a terrifying experience in the jungle. He spent 3 days in the bushes after a report of an enemy sighting. His unit managed to spot a weak figure in the distance, but as they got closer, they realized that the figure was not walking, but floating. He was a normal person, but without a face, as if it had been erased from him, of pale skin with bullet holes in his chest. Another case mentions a man who camped near an old dam on the river. He was awakened by the intense sound of the roaring water. When he left, the noise stopped abruptly, but later he was stunned by the same noise, but this time accompanied by trunks crashing and men shouting. The man explored the place with his dogs the next day when the sun came out, but found nothing strange or the reason for those noises. The forest seems to be reliving some disturbing facts of the past. Another story tells of a hunter. While he was at his guard post, he heard a creature venture into the thicket towards the swamp. He was in no hurry, so he tried to get closer in silence. The hunter had heard the footsteps and the splash of each of them, but little by little he entered the thick forest, silencing the insects, frogs, and birds in his path. The hunter could not clearly see the strange creature, but there were deep claw marks left on the tree where his guard post had been that night. The fact that forests harbor monsters and unknown entities is an unresolved issue, especially for science. The reality is that there is no precise evidence that strange creatures exist in forests, but the mystery has remained latent over the years.